Alright guys, what's going on? So, pickups from this weekend. Absolutely insane weekend. There was so many garage sales. I had at least like 10 to 12 off my list that I found that were specifically video game related. Didn't get a chance to go to all of them. Some stuff was gone by the time I got there, but we have a lot to go through today. So it's going to be a little bit of a longer video, but I got a lot of stuff, a lot of really good quality stuff, and there's a lot of bulk, but we're gonna cut some of that bulk. So, getting into the first pickup of the day. I started my day, I woke up I think at 7 a.m. and I was on the other side of the city by 8 a.m. For this first garage sale. My first set of pickups, they had video games listed. I didn't realize it was going to be this crazy. I was there probably 10 minutes early, maybe it was like 7:50 or something like that. There was already 10 people crowded around all these games picking them up. Dudes had stacks of games, huge stacks of games. They were dropping a lot of money. I don't usually like to spend as much money as some people are willing to. I try to get stuff very cheap, so I only picked up 2 games at this sale. I ended up picking up Persona Q, Shadow of the Labyrinth. It's an Atlas game. Persona games are very highly sought after. This one was worth definitely a lot more than I paid for it. And I also picked up one other Atlas game for the Vita, so 2 handheld games. This one is called Conception 2, Children of the Seven Stars. Person selling it said this game is pretty bad, but I'm willing to take a chance on it. And again, paid a lot less than it's worth. I got both of these together for $10. $10 Canadian. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. The Persona pickup is definitely a really nice one. Didn't even know about this game. And now we have it. It looks awesome. Cool. So that was first pickup of the day. Right after that one, where do we head next? I think there was another one listed for some video games and stuff like that. And the first things I ended up finding there was not video game related. I actually found a couple manga. We got Dot Hack, Legend of the Twilight. I believe this is the first Dot Hack manga. It's in great shape. Not sure if I'll be reading it or not, but I think it's just a really cool piece to throw on a shelf. Love it. Really nice. And we also found a Devil May Cry manga. Pretty cool. So 2 of those guys, I think they were asking 50 cents a piece on them, something like that. And then I asked if they had any video games, and they did have a little bit of extra. Now, these ones are ones I had sorted through before. Nothing crazy in here. I just wanted to try and make a deal with these guys and see if I could pick up a couple things that I didn't have. So, the first ones that I picked out was a Naruto game for the DS, and then there's another... I think this is Naruto as well, Airbender, Last Airbender for the DS as well. And I had asked how much they wanted for these 2. They had some pricing listed on these. I think they were asking $5 a piece or something like that on the games. And I asked if they would do these 2 plus the manga for or what they wanted for it. I usually try and ask what they would want for it, and they said $8 and go grab another game and you can have it. And I said okay, that's fine. I didn't want to lowball them too hard, so I ended up picking up another Lego Batman. Again, nothing crazy, but all games that I didn't have, and the Naruto games might be decent. I'm not sure. Not too sure. But yeah, so we got these 3 games plus the 2 manga for $8. $8. Not bad. Not bad. Alright, so that was pickup number 2. After that one, next pickup, I think they had, it was again just listed video games. A lot of people love doing that on garage sales, just say video games. It pulls people right into their sales. And this one I went over to, we are wheeling a whole box over. We know that we got a lot of bulk here. So this one, first thing I saw actually when I came up was another board game. We found a board game last week. We found Pandemic last week. Got that one for $3. This week we found Munchkin, which is another really cool board game that I've played before with some friends. And I always take a look inside to see what's in there. And instructions are clean, and the cards are sealed. Everything's still brand new sealed. So there's 2 packs of cards in here, and the single dice. And it's a brand new game. Brand new game. Sticker price that they had on this guy, $2. I will take it. I will take it for $2. Add to the board game collection. One day I'll have to show you guys the board game collection as well. It's not super big, but we got some pretty cool stuff in there. So $2 they were asking on this one, and then I also saw that they had a big box of video games. It was this box here exactly, and it's video games, $1 each. $1 each. So I'm sorting through them. It's mostly mostly garbage. I'll do a close-up, let you guys see kind of what's in here. Mostly kind of crappy games. I've gone through and looked in every single case. There's a few of them that are missing some games, but there are a few picks in here that I will probably be keeping for myself. Might get rid of them at some point because they're nothing crazy, but definitely more valuable than the $1 a piece. The games that I'm probably going to add to the collection today are Need for Speed Hot Pursuit on the PS3, Port Royale 3. This one was kind of interesting to me. It's like a strategy game of some sort. 2 different single-player campaigns, a bunch of different ships and stuff like that. Looks kind of interesting. Something I hadn't really heard of or seen before on the PS3, so pick that guy up. And another game that's decently valuable, pretty sought after, Farming Simulator for the PS3. I don't have this one yet, so I'll probably be adding this one to the collection. Cool, so those are the 3 out of this huge box that I'll probably be adding to the collection. And yeah, there's a ton of stuff in here. And I had picked out these few, and the lady that was there said that they were her neighbor's games. I'd asked if they had any other games, anything like that. I always ask if there's more. Is there more than what's here? And she said, no, it's my neighbor's games. He said he'd take $10 for the whole box. And I sat there and I thought for a sec, do I want to just pick up these 3 games and the board game, $5? No, let's take the $10. There's some, I can always use these for spare cases. Always keep in mind spare cases. Having nice, clean, sticker-free cases on the shelf is always a huge plus in my opinion. There's nothing worse than picking a game off the shelf and it just looks gross. So I'll probably be using some of these for spare cases. And if not, I'll probably end up just flipping them very, very cheap. Just get rid of them, because I don't want to have a ton of stuff sitting. But yeah, crazy pickup. $12 in total. I got Munchkin plus all these games. I don't know how many are in here. There's probably like 30, 40 games, something like that, for $12. $12 all in. Cannot go wrong. Amazing deal. Cool. Next up after that one, there was another listing that said some Wii stuff. So I went and checked it out. They were asking a little bit too much money for most of the stuff that they were... they didn't even have it out yet by the time I arrived, but they were asking, $5, $5 a game or something like that, and no, notable titles. But I ended up picking up one of them just because it was in decent shape, and it was one that I didn't have yet, which was Soul Calibur Legends on the Wii. Ended up getting it for $3. So not great, but it's a cool game, and definitely one that I didn't have, and I will be adding it to the collection. Good stuff. All right. Now this was probably my favorite pickup. One of my favorite. The next 2 are probably some of my favorite pickups from the weekend. So the next listing said PS3 games. I'm not hugely drawn into that because I know I'm going to be finding so much PS3 stuff over the next while. Usually when it's older things, that's where my kind of focus is right now. But all the PS3, 360, Wii, stuff like that, it's so popular right now. People are getting rid of it like crazy. So I went over there and they had a table full of PS3 games. It was literally stacks like this. There was probably 4 or 5 stacks like that. And there was a few people kind of in the area, and I kind of snuck in beside one of these guys, and I was kind of like pulling out one of the games, and they said, "Oh no, those games are sold." And I'm like, "Okay, hands off, I'm backing up." All those PS3 games were sold. Dudes dropping, $70 or something on all these games. They're asking $2 a piece on the games, and there was a few in there that I saw that I was like, "Ooh, I kind of want that," but not a big deal. I'm not too worried about it. Not too worried about missing out. But rather than walking away, I sat there for a sec, waited for them to kind of get out of there, and I said, "You guys got any other video games? You guys got anything else?" And the lady says, I think all that we got left is the Cube stuff. And my ears perked up. Cube stuff. Love hearing that. So they had GameCube stuff, and they start pulling it out. They start pulling it out just for me, just because I asked. And first stuff they end up pulling out is a big old stack of games. Not a huge stack, but a decent stack of games. And this is what I was greeted with. Turn this one around. I was greeted with this stack of games right here. Instantly, I saw Super Smash Bros. So I see Smash Bros. And I open it up, and there's no game inside. Dang. So I asked, "Well, what are you guys asking on these games?" They said, "Just like the other games, $2 a piece." And I said, "Okay, cool." Hoping I can pick up at least some of the other ones, and they will have the discs. But I asked, oh, do you still have the GameCube? Maybe this game is missing. Can you go see if it's in the console? So they went inside. They looked in the console. No Smash Bros. So unfortunately, this game is missing, which is probably the biggest best seller. I already have it, but it would have been an awesome flip for the weekend. But there was quite a few games in here that I didn't have that I will be adding to the collection. Firstly, I'll go through the ones that I'm not keeping. Legend of Wrestling 2, Finding Nemo, Madden 06, Tony Hawk's Underground. I don't know if I'll keep this one yet. Tak, The Power of Juju, not too sure. And 007 Nightfire, and the case is all weird, but might be able to fix that up. The ones I am keeping, though, there are 3 awesome titles here, 3 really good titles. We've got Ribbit King, Puyo Pop Fever, really awesome, and Pokemon Coliseum. These are all, I believe, complete. Yep, every single one of these complete in box. Ribbit King's a 2 disc too. Nice, cool. Yeah, so those are 3 really great pickups. And then I asked, okay, so these are the games. They want $2 a piece. I'm looking at them. We got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. So $20 minus Smash Bros is like not there. So I'm thinking, okay, so it's like $18. It's not bad. I could pick up all those as a little bundle or something. And I said, what about the GameCube? Are you keeping the GameCube? You want to get rid of it? And they said, okay, yeah, we can sell the GameCube. So they pull out the GameCube. It's in pretty rough looking shape. Looks pretty dirty. I'll get some close-ups of it. It's looking pretty dirty. And it's also got 2 controllers. They got 2 of the silver controllers, as well as all of the cables. And something I didn't have was the microphone. So the microphone was in there as well. And I was asking, okay, how much you want for the GameCube with the controllers, the microphone, that whole little bundle there. And they said $30. $30 for that. And then sat for 1 second. I said $30. We'll do all the games and the GameCube, $30. And they said, okay. They were really willing to deal. So we got the GameCube, 2 controllers, the microphone, all these games. 3 of them for me. The rest of them are going to be heading out. Cannot complain about that. Super awesome deal. All right, so let me throw these guys back in the box, and let's get on to the next pickup. Again, this weekend was actually crazy. So next pickup, from the first pickup of the day, when we picked up those 2 handheld games, the Conception and the Persona, they still had other games there, but they were asking price charting values on them. So they had 2 Dot Hack games. They had Dot Hack Volume 2 and Dot Hack Volume 3, as well as a number of other games. And a lot of people were paying the price charting value, at least like maybe a little bit less than price charting value. But they were asking $20 a piece on the Dot Hack games. I already had the first one, and I didn't think I had the second one, but it turns out I actually do. I actually only found this out like a couple days ago. I didn't realize that I actually had it. And luckily, I went back a second time during the day hoping I could make a deal on some of these games. Maybe do like 2 for $20 or something like that rather than the $20 a piece, hoping they would be kind of left over and no one had picked them up. So I had been there at 8 a.m. and I came back at noon. So at noon, they still had quite a few games left over, and one of them was Dot Hack Volume 3. I did not have this game. I have it now. I did not have this game. It's complete in box. Condition is pretty good if I remember correctly. Not too bad. A couple little scratches, but overall pretty darn good. They still have this $20 tag on it, and I was not looking to spend $20 on this game. So they had one other game there that I didn't have, which was another Soul Calibur game, Soul Calibur Broken Destiny. I ended up asking for the 2 of them together for $20, and they said $25. And I sat there being like, I don't know about $25. It's like a little too rich for me. It was like, we did really good today. There's a lot of really awesome pickups. Maybe I'm willing to spend the $25. And it was a girl and her boyfriend. This was the girlfriend's game, Dot Hack, and the boyfriend's game was Soul Calibur. And this Soul Calibur has never really been played. I think he bought it, and it's still got the plastic sticker on it. He never played the game. He said, fine, $20. She'll get the $20 for this game. He's going to throw in his game for free. So I'm okay with that. $20 for the pair. Next It's late in the day. I always try to wrap up garage sailing around 11:30, 12 o'clock, something like that. It just starts getting too hot out, too busy. So that's usually when I like to kind of wind down and maybe check out some pawn shops. So I didn't have a ton of time left in the day, so I wanted to hit up one more pawn shop. And I went to my favorite, the one that I usually do, 7 games for $20. They didn't have a ton of stuff, as you'll see. It's not the greatest pickups here, but there's one game in here that I'm really, really stoked on. The 3 games I ended up picking up, instead of 7 for 20, they did 3 for 10. So we got Daxter on the PSP, Hitman 2 on the original Xbox. This game's not valuable. It's one I didn't have, but it's in great condition. Manual super clean. Game is pretty darn good. So I thought that one was okay. And the best pickup of the lot, the one that I needed to buy this game because I knew it was going to disappear, was Silent Hill HD Collection on the 360. Yeah, so I pretty much wanted to get this game, and I just had to find a few others to kind of bundle with it to make it a little bit more worthwhile. Instead of $5, they do $5 per game, or you can do kind of 3 for 10, 7 for 20. So I ended up finding 3 that I wanted. Beautiful. All right, so that was everything from the weekend. I also had one trade that I did yesterday. Dude listed on Kijiji, said like 70 or so PS2 games, $25. He didn't have any pictures, nothing like that. He said, message me, send me your number if you want to see some pictures. So I sent him my number. Took him like a day or two to reply, which was very strange. It took a little while. But he messaged me saying, you were the first guy to get the message through. I had like over 20 replies. I'll send you these pics. You let me know. So I said, cool. So I was willing to do the $25 for it. But he updated his ad and he messaged me again saying, I'm more looking to trade instead of do the $25. So he wanted a PS2 Slim and he wanted Shadow of the Colossus for PS2. I had both of those. I had a PS2 Slim that I wasn't using from a purchase I did last year off of Kijiji, and I had Shadow of the Colossus. I don't have it on the PS2 anymore because I traded it, but I do have the HD remaster on the PS3. Plus, Shadow of the Colossus is a pretty common game, so I'll probably end up finding it again on the PS2. So I'm not worried about that one bit. Not worried about that trade one bit. So we ended up with a massive box of games. As you can see here, humongous box, just full of games. Most of them are pretty crappy. He said that a lot of them were pretty scratched up or not in the greatest condition. Almost all of these were used games purchased from EB or somewhere similar. And again, most of them are pretty kind of average, crappy games. But there was a couple in here that stood out to me, ones I hadn't really seen before, that I wanted to add for the $25, and I can easily just get rid of the rest of them. I can just throw this up again on Kijiji, say $25 for the whole box, and people will pick it up after I've taken out what I want. So it's an easy grab and flip. The games that are in here that I'm probably keeping, because I have sorted through all this, I've checked the cases. A few of them didn't have games in them, but these are the ones that kind of stood out to me as ones that I didn't have that I might consider adding to the collection. Definitely adding these two. These were the two that stood out to me. Was Star Trek Conquest, which is Bethesda. So when I saw that, I was like, I wonder if we got a cool Star Trek RPG. Maybe. Might be cool. And another game that I've never seen before called Raw Danger. It's a really strange looking game. Not super well reviewed, but pretty rare. So that's a cool one to add, and it's in fantastic condition. These two are both actually in pretty darn good condition. And then there's a few other kind of filler titles that I might add as well. So we've got Power Rangers, Super Legends 15th Anniversary, Ghost Recon 2, which shockingly I don't have, Ed, and Eddie Misadventures, Siphon Filter and Mega Strain. I actually really love the Siphon Filter games on PS1. I have both Siphon Filter 1 and Siphon Filter 2, but I didn't have this one yet, so that's actually really cool. Full Spectrum Warrior, and a lot of these cases are pretty stickered up, so hopefully there's a few in here I can kind of swap around until I've got some clean cases. I didn't have Mafia. I actually had this on PC. I remember playing this game, and it was really, really hard, but have it on the PS2 now. Scooby-Doo First Frights, and Batman Rise of Sin Tzu. So those are the ones that I think I might be adding to the collection out of this big box of 70 or so games. Again, I'll do a quick kind of run through with the camera on some of these games, but we'll end up getting rid of the majority of them. And that was the pickups for this week. actually insane. There are so many games all around me right now. We're gonna do another new thing. I thought of this just a couple days ago. Let's let this image roll of me putting everything back up on the shelf. So adding all the stuff to the collection that we did from this week. I think I'm gonna make this a new thing. Do a sped up version of all the pickups. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty awesome week. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/annihilate this, with the last T being a 7. It's confusing, I know, but hopefully you guys can check me out on Twitch, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.